was not that bad. All views expressed by the hosts and guests in this podcast are solely their opinions and do not reflect the opinions of their respective employers. Guests and hosts may maintain positions in the assets discussed in this podcast. This podcast is for informational purposes only, and nothing in the podcast is intended to be financial, legal, or even life advice.
Bro, my favorite moment of this podcast was when he actually shared his strategies on trading in different size and different coins and how he rotates. What about yours?
No, I mean, he was famous for turning, I think, six figures in the INA trade to like 8 figures, right? So, like, hearing his process and thought process, how he did it, from how he would have done it at different account size, as you said, so it's the most interesting thing, because we often think that people are just trading memes, but once your account got to a certain scale, that's not the most effective strategy anymore.
I really enjoy the fact that he shared how he built the Mantle ecosystem.
So Edmund is responsible for DeFi strategy in the Mantle ecosystem, and Mantle is undoubtedly, one of the most DeFi native EVM chain right now. They're working with Bitcoin, they're working on the restaking side. So it's super interesting to see how, in order for you to have a thriving ecosystem, I know it sounds obvious for some of our listeners, but you need someone who's like extremely, extremely crypto native, right? And DeFi Maestro or Edmund, the guest of this podcast, is that person. A lot of the time chains would hire somebody for an ecosystem role that he or she might not be, like a degenerate user themselves, but in this case, you can clearly see from the way that he talks about the market.
Yeah, for sure. I don't like it, but I think it was good that he called my strategy trash. Okay, all right, bro. What do you think about these science?
This science is interesting. I think it has more longevity than memes. Probably one to actually focus on right now in the current market.
Do you prefer meme coin AI coins or D-Science meme coins?
At the current state, maybe not D-Science meme coins, maybe D-Science DAOs. Probably more sustainable than D-Science meme coins. Yeah.
Why do you think D-Science DAO would work better than other DAOs that failed?
I think these science DAOs are currently looking at the right mechanism to attract attention. I think they are launching the IPs in the form of like coins, and people are treating them like meme coins and trading them like meme coins. So I think there's a nice overlap between like being a meme coin and being something that has actual use case. Yeah.
How long do you think this D-Science meme coin is going to last? Sorry.
As long. Sorry, Marco, you want to say something?
I was lagging a bit, but yeah, I'm just going to start. Do you believe in blue chip meme coins, and do you think people can make money from it?
I think stuff like Dodge and like the PP has shown that it does work, but probably one in like thousands. But there are like cults or so-called cult-like of supporters that I think blue chip meme coins actually do exist.
How many months do you think the science meme coin will last for until the real designs come?
Probably it will start slow. Now the current hype is only because like Binance is supporting it. Like the actual, I guess, boom will probably be when one of these so-called sponsored designs researchers actually produce something very tangible that the TradFi side or the rest of the non-crypto native people actually starts talking about it.
If I never use the Mantle chain, what should I start looking at first, or what should I look forward to?
Just come over to the main website and then like just bridge a few dollars over, like try out the apps. You go to our ecosystem page, there are all our apps listed there. If you have any questions, hop into one of our Discord channels or community, like we have the mods there. Just drop me a PM on like Twitter. I can just share a few apps that you can go about using. Really depends on like what you want to do on the chain. Like the sky's the limit.
What is your favorite M on what?
Merchant Mo. But other apps are great as well. So not just one app. All the apps are great, but like I use Merchant Mo quite a bit.
Cut.
GM, welcome back to More Than Speculation, your favorite crypto podcast. In today's episode, we actually have a legendary guest. I would say so, especially in this time of the market. Somebody who's like whose thoughts I value very, very much, especially as the market is getting crazy. So to just get started, I will just pass it on right to you, Lambro, for the quick intro.
All right. Yeah, he's DeFi Maestro, by the way. So like, the legendary guy took some small capital to big capital and been running big things in freaking Mantle. But yeah, let's start off with some rapid questions. The question is going to be quick. Reply quickly. The question is designed in a way that is on purposely open-ended, so you reply what comes into your mind. What are the three things that you look at before consider getting into a trade or investing?
FDV, initial supply, and the community.
Oh, okay, float, community, and valuation. Okay. What do you look at before jumping into a meme coin?
I don't look at much. I just see the ticker.
Okay. So we should shoot out. We should keep comments. So everyone just remember to reply the CA under his Twitter. Okay, what sectors are you looking into now, other than memes?
Designs, AI, DeFi. I actually still think DeFi has a tangible shot.
Oh, more in that later. What are a better metric other than TVL to evaluate a chain?
I think upcoming one is like real world integrations. I think that's something that a lot of chains are currently looking at right now.
Interesting. What are your predictions this year?
Predictions for any particular asset or
Just about the crypto markets, yeah.
I think BTC will probably make another new high before the end of the year. But I think if continues to struggle, Solana will do well.
Okay, sounds good. All right, for the who's that might not be familiar with you, do you mind making maybe a self intro, or I would like to see what kind of stuff you highlight as well.
Hi everyone, I'm Edmunds, also known as DeFi Maestro. I'm currently working with Mantle. I'm doing DeFi strategies over at Mantle. So my day-to-day jobs involve like planning out how we develop ecosystem, who to onboard, who do we try to highlight more in our ecosystem, what any key areas in our ecosystem that we are missing out on, any areas that we want to like jump in because of like the narrative changing. So I think like some stuff like designs and also like even previously the AI stuff, all these are areas that we gradually see that trending and then we start to onboard them. So that's part of my day-to-day jobs. Yeah.
Nice. So I actually started following you with your 10K challenge.
When was this, by the way? Like, was it like at the beginning of last year?
Yeah, it's beginning last year. I did a challenge to is it 10K or 100K? I actually honestly I can't remember. Early last year.
I only remember it as like you took a small portfolio to a big portfolio and then you documented it publicly.
Yeah. I started then, but I think my account was pretty old by then, but I just didn't really post that much. Then I was previously with like Spartan, then I left Spartan, and then after I left Spartan, I was like just wanted to do something fun, and then I just started to trade publicly, and then I think that's where my account started to have like a lot of traction from then. Yeah.
So
nice.
I want to take a step back a bit, because I know that we were just like talking about what you're doing now and like all of that, but you did briefly mention Spartan. For our uninitiated listeners, just like briefly, what's your crypto story? I guess like how did you get into the space? What was the first few interactions that make you wanna work in this crazy world?
I actually started crypto way back in like 2013. I think back then I was in university. I wanted to I guess earn some spare capital, spare income from doing some odd jobs at the side, and I actually chose to do like a virtual items trading, so CS:GO, Dota 2 items. I traded those items up, and then there was a website that actually allowed me to use Bitcoin as a currency to actually trade those items, and that was actually my first exposure to Bitcoin. And since then, it was like a endless like rabbit hole. So I paid off my uni fees purely with like cashing out on Bitcoin way back
Amazing.
then, and then I started like my own cryptocurrency mining farm in Singapore. I did a small little VC with a few friends, and then that was like while I was still holding my day job as a civil engineer, and
Civil engineer.
gradually.
Okay.
Yeah, I was actually a civil engineer. If you actually land in Singapore, the runway that you're landing on, you have a 1 in 3 chances that is the runway that I actually built. Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
Yes.
That's super cool.
But yeah, so after that, it was basically like I decided to like go full time because it was where my passion was, and then I went to Spartan, and now I'm at Mantle.
Nice. So I follow you midway in your trading journey. So that was why Trader Joe and how that, like, do you think trading publicly and privately makes a difference actually?
I think it does. I think the way you trade publicly is a lot safer than how what you do if you're trading it privately. And I think there's a lot of different factors if you do it publicly. I think for public trading challenges, to me, there's a lot more downside than upside. I think the upside is that whatever you buy, if your account is big enough, it moves pretty fast. But it also means that your tradings that you do, the trades that you do are not organic. It is
Right.
very manufactured. It's not very viable. It might change a lot of the thesis that you do for the trades, and there were a lot of downsides. So like the moment I started to lose some money on my trades, I had like death threats coming in. I have like people threatening
wow.
to find me, and it was just very weird. And after a while, I just
For the people that was trying to look him, a DeFi Maestro is actually very well built. So like, bring weapons if you're gonna find him. Yeah, sorry.
But yeah, so like the ones that happened, it was like very sour taste in the mouth. Like I felt like it wasn't really worthwhile to continue. It started off as something
Yeah.
fun, but it got a bit too serious. And honestly, like it was much easier for me to trade like privately without the public monitoring all the moves. Yeah.
How? So just, I want to ask this question that I think it's like on the mind of everybody that's listening to this. You have done a lot. Like you've been on the mining side, you've been on the investing side, now you're on the operation side, and you have you have a fairly sizable. I mean, it's not just sizable. You have a massive X account, and you also trade. How do you manage your time? I think that's the number one question. Like how do you manage all of that basically? Yeah.
A lot of this are synergistics, right? Like for me to monitor the trend, I have to be on like Twitter a lot, and then on Twitter a lot, I get to know like teams that I want to speak to, interesting mechanisms that I think teams can try it out, that new stuff they are launching, new chains they are launching, what other chains are doing, and then with this knowledge, I can take it back and then I can compare it to what we're doing at Mantle, right? Are we missing out any particular aspect? Like how did this chain actually get meme to actually boom on the chain, and how do we do it on Mantle side? Do we have the same competitive advantage that they have, and do we have a different sort of competitive advantage? Can we adjust stuff to actually do it on our end? And these are the stuff that we weigh on a daily basis. And yeah, I guess that this also helps me when I want to trade, right? Like, keeping updated with all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And in the current meta, I think it's like you don't really need to analyze too much, I guess.
Flory IQ.
You know,
Yeah.
I actually agree with what Edmund said, because, like, to be honest, you need to be very highly attached to the market. And what's the biggest incentive, right? Is if you're running your own money, and you have a public figure, and you're doing a job as well. Like, it sounded like a lot to do, but at the same time, you have more on the line that you have to continue to perform well in all fronts, I feel like. And yeah, jumping on, would you like to share some of your best trades and how did you find it? Like, not to show how you tried, but like for someone that wants to, let's say, replicate or fine tune their framework.
I guess for this year, my best trade will probably be ENA, right? Like everyone knows, like my trade with ENA, like a few of my addresses were docs, and yeah, I think for that it was pretty straightforward process whereby I have to I back calculated. I track daily like what is the emissions rate like, what is the rewards like, and also what are the perceived valuations that people are actually seeing for INA. And then I did the whole spreadsheet, and then I used that spreadsheet. I actually tried different ways of calculations, and then I felt that everything actually made a lot of sense, and then I just aped, and I went in like pretty huge, and then yeah, that became like one of my best trades this year, and
Nice.
yeah, that's about it.
The thing is, like, I can never, like this is just myself, right? So everyone knows I'm a big yield farmer and big points farmer as well. But sometimes even once I work on my Excel sheets, I don't have the balls to go in size for points. Like, cause that's just the thing is, cause everything can be changed easily, right? So I think that's the biggest, big balls, big gains kind of thing. And obviously there are some people that got wrecked on Iden as well, and etc. But I think that was the valuation problem. But yeah, was it a thinking process, or was it like a risk reward thing that you think it was just like the gap was big enough that you would just take the risk kind of thing?
Yeah, it was basically a risk and reward play actually. I felt that based on my parameters, I thought that the most I would lose would probably be around 50% of the capital I put in, and then I didn't expect like Ina or Tina to actually do this well. I thought that they will launch at probably like a 3 to 4B valuation, but then like I think at that moment like Ondo was like going really hard. The TVL was like not TVL, the valuation was going up very fast, and then it sort of like set the benchmark for Tina as well. So when Tina launched, it just went ham.
Yeah. To add a little bit on that, right? So like I'm like the type of guy that likes to do comparisons, valuations, etc. Those kind of stuff, right? But I feel like all the illiquid tokens is so hard to time because the references and the market move so quickly. It's almost like if it's not a good risk and reward, I won't take it unless it's a pure liquid play.
I sort of agree, but then again, it's like, because some people take it, some don't. It's really dependent on how you perceive the risk and reward ratios, right? Everyone perceives it differently.
I see.
With just briefly jumping in, talking about risk and reward, I wanted to get your take on, if you're new on this cycle, what's different in your mind compared to the prior cycles, and what would you be doing if somebody is new?
I think for this cycle, everything's a lot faster. The attention span for users is like switching like every day. Even the narratives itself are moving like really fast. So compared to like previous cycles, this current cycles is, I would say, a lot more rapid. There's a lot more rotations, much faster than other cycles. I think compared to the other cycles, this cycle has less focus on like private sales, less focus on like internal raise. Even like the identity of the teams have become less important. I think previously, like knowing the team is more important. In this cycle, you ape meme coins, you ape AI stuff. They don't really care too much about who's behind the team. They as long as they have a, let's say like a bot that actually works, they can tweet, they can make stuff, and people say, oh, it works, they're just gonna ape into it. And then like even last night, my friends sending me like this science project that has a video stream of a fish, of how a fish can potentially mutate, and they send me this at like 2 a.m. in the middle of the night, and I'm like,
Did you buy though?
I didn't.
You ape?
I just found it very interesting, like the whole focus of like who's the team, like what's the float, like let's all out of the window. Like everyone is just like, oh, it's a new token, we ape in first. Everyone just have to focus on whether attention span will be shifting from others to this token, and if the attention span shifts over, you ape in, and the likelihood is you actually make money.
So do you think that's just the main way to make money right now in the market, actually? Like in crypto at least?
It really depends on whether you're quick enough. If you're quick enough, you are confident in rotating fast and deciding on when to exit. I think doing these meme coins, this very volatile style of play, you probably make money, but then it's like a zero-sum game, right? You're earning money that someone else is losing. So if you don't have the time to monitor the market, or if you just don't have the feel to actually gauge all this quick shift in focus in the market, then it's better off like going for like stuff that are probably longer term in play, or those that have like more tangible value, even though it is more boring. Yeah.
Makes sense.
While we're on this topic, would you consider yourself mid-curve?
Bro, no one would say this.
I know. I think I'm 60 to 70% mid-curve. I think I am.
I guess maybe. Honestly, I haven't thought of this question before. Probably not. I actually think that being mid-curve in this cycle is very beneficial. I think I tend to overthink it a lot. I think if I were just to go with like the general consensus, like I would have made a lot more money than what I actually made so far.
I tend to overthink some things. I vibe with the stuff that you write because I think we share similar views and ways of going about things.
Both of you are like DeFi nerds.
DeFi, valuation, some sort of fundamental value. But like, I'm not sure if you do know, but recently for the past 3-4 weeks, I've been aping in every single meme coin basically, like as an experiment and also to enjoy the market in some sense. And I've been thinking, when is the market going to shift? So like, let me share what I've been doing, and you can bluntly comment. How about that? I would like, because Marco is always too nice and so suits up like, oh, I think that's not bad. Like, I need some real freaking answers, okay? Okay, hear me out, Okay, rate my ideas. So, BNB been underperforming a lot. CC is out, doing a lot of things. Out of Sway, Solana, Bitcoin, ETH. Well, I don't know about ETH, but like it's been performing a lot. I think it's bound to be a rebound and limited downside. Thoughts?
So BNB token?
The question is
Yes.
like BNB, right? Yeah.
You can just comment like bad, no, okay, maybe kind of thing, like where
Nah, trash.
trash. Okay.
Okay, good. I love it.
2 cents. Why? I love it.
I mean, like this. I just said like this is probably one of the fastest market that we're seeing, like in terms of meme coins. And then out of this market, you actually chose one of the slowest and most stable coin throughout the whole cycle to actually hold. Even probably this is like even slower than and less volatile than ETH. And you chose this sort of pseudo stable coin because of like it's underlooked. I don't know, like maybe it could work out, but for me personally, I would like to follow the trend. So if the market's moving very fast, I'll choose a fast moving coin. If I choose a slow one, it basically just makes like your returns a lot lower. And that's what I feel.
Can I add?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna add. I think it might be a good asset for you to TP into if you win something big. You know, like because you're still risk on, and BNB staking APY is like one of the highest if you look back in the past 5 years, right? It's consistently higher. So like you TP into it, but I don't think you put risk by buying it. Like yeah, it's not a risk on asset. Yeah.
100%. So like just the thing is like till today I cannot size meme coins. Like I don't think I can blast more than 10 to 15k into meme coin. I can hold them. Like if it pumps like gold right now, my gold bag is like
His
40 or
size
50k.
is size.
I cannot sell, but I cannot buy more than like if I buy anything more than 5k I start to worry. If I buy anything more than 15k I'm like bro. But like if BNB I'm like alright fuck it, I don't care kind of thing. Like I know that's a problem of mine and I kinda just want to accept that. But like in saying that okay, next topic. Because I am not very deep into the trenches, or I cannot find a beta, and I'm not in any Cabal coin yet, I like to ape in every new sector of meme coin.
Right.
So like how we got wrecked in Uniswap Unichain together. So a little bit of backstory. Marco was like, see this. Let's ape something on the Unichain. I'm like, alright, cool. He was like, I'm in Thailand, bro. Can you do it for me? I was like, alright, bye. And I put it on Twitter. Then Minstrel DM me like, bro, I'm in there as well, you know? No, let's go. The next thing you know, the chain fucking froze.
Oh my god.
I actually went so ham on Unichain before it froze. Like I thought I was a genius for like running everything, and then
Me
man,
too.
it's so retarded.
Bro, like, yeah, it was fun time, crazy,
But like, so my conclusion for the past few month or so is like, for meme coins, because we can't find beta and we're not in Cabal. Well, I'm not yet. I want to basically. I feel like when the new trend comes, you just buy everything, like D-Science, like AI meme, like Unichain. Like even though you got wrecked, right? If you hit one time, the risk and reward is good enough, in some sense.
I agree. I think scatter, if you can pick a range of a category that you're comfortable with. I think scattering can be profitable. Yeah, typically I just try to rotate like 1 or 2 coins a day, and then just pray as hard as possible that it goes up.
Never
How
stop
do you-
clicking.
How do you exit, by the way? How do you plan your exit? Because like I'm finding it very difficult for meme coins to plan their exit.
I actually just use LPs actually. I think for meme coins, always determine like what point you want to exit, and then at what's the final point that you think the valuation above this valuation, it doesn't make sense for you to hold it. Then just add to single-sided LP, and then let the market do its work. And then if it doesn't hit that price, then it's time to maybe in 1 or 2 days, then you can just rotate it out of it.
Oh, by the way, Marco, you know
think that's a
LPing
very
on
good,
meme coins is
feedback.
highly profitable. Meme coin and
No,
LPs
it
is
is. It
highly
is highly.
profitable.
It is.
I
It is
got
highly profitable.
5%
I just think that-
realized today. I got 5% APR realized today.
Come on.
Yeah. No, realized on fucking AIX16Z. Like it was bouncing around, and I realized 5%. I was like, yo, I was just testing it out, kind of thing. But yeah.
Some of the listeners are gonna listen to this, and then, like, this guy is shilling 5% per day. I want 500% in 1 day in this market.
It's actually projected for 3,000% APR per year.
Okay, got it.
But I realized
You know, like
5%.
the No, like, I just wanted to ask you, Edmund, since you talk about the LP stuff and then your INA trade. Basically, I would like to, for this next session, if you can, like, based on the account size, how do you kind of recommend people approach crypto markets? Let's say, like, if you have under 10K, then like 10K to like 100K, to like 500K, like, just based on your experience, not financial advice, like, how would you approach that given the current state of the market? You know, it's not like the DeFi days in 2020. Now it's all different. Like, how would you do it right now?
Based on account size, I think it's a tricky question. I honestly just think that whatever money you put into crypto, if you want high returns, you must be prepared to stomach the downside as well. So I think anything below the 100K is pretty straightforward. You ape the micro caps, you try to keep up with the pace of the markets now. Ape like all the D-Science tokens, the meme coin tokens. I think that is probably one of the more clear-cut plays for smaller accounts. Once you get close to probably like a few 100K, then you start to develop a system of how you want to do it, like how much of your profits do you set aside from each trade. You still continue doing the same as when you initially started when you're small, but then try to set aside more profits. You don't have to set it aside in stables. You can set it aside in like majors, BTC, ETH. I think it is a good idea to do that. Once you get to a few 100K, and then once you hit like 7 digits, then for sure you should have a system up by then. For me personally, I trade. Every time I do a profitable trade, 10% of it directly goes to stables, and then maybe in the rest I will continue rolling it, either that or I'll put another 10% into the majors, and then I'll continue rolling the rest. That has proved to be like a pretty good lifesaver, especially when the market has downturns. So and it actually builds up really fast if you just take that 10% of every trade just to stack up like at the side as a hedge.
Very interesting system. Yeah.
Okay, now that we have picked your brain on trading, let's talk about the other side of your life, mental. How was your... I personally really oh shit, I feel like I'm shilling a lot of things. But yeah, so like I think Mantle has one of the better well-built ecosystem. It's well built, but it's not like too much incentives where it's good for the ecosystem but bad for toxic farmers like me. But yeah, we'd love to know. I would like to learn about how you think about like planning an ecosystem or how this started, or maybe some highlight.
Yeah, I think Mantle was a very interesting challenge for me. I think personally, like when we launched Mantle, we were launching it at the same time as other ecosystems that was like doing like huge incentive programs, huge lockup programs to incentivize users to put their TVL there. So for us, we knew that we couldn't like go very heavy on the launch of our network. We have to do it in a very, I guess. Longer duration process. We have to make sure we have a steady cadence for us in issuing rewards and us doing grants to the ecosystem, and we knew that we have to do more. We can't just give users L2. We have to give them a whole ecosystem whereby you have assets that is a bit different. If you have like protocols that are a bit different, you can have a mix of like common names in the ecosystem that users are actually familiar with, but you also have new protocols that can excite the users. So it's really a mix of all this throughout the past one plus years, and then from there you start to pinpoint like areas that you think is I guess gives you the edge for your ecosystem. For us, we knew that we had I guess a sizable treasury, and then our treasury could also supplement the ecosystem. But we didn't want to just like do a champagne shower and just give everyone like all our treasury tokens, and then it's not sustainable, right? So we actually used our treasury to get yield, and then we take the yield, we just pass it on to the users. So our treasury actually has not sold like any tokens. All the tokens that we get from using our treasury, we actually just give it out to the users. So that in a sense becomes like sustainable incentives for the ecosystem, for the projects that are building on us. And then you have our internal assets like CMEF, FBDC. So both CMEF, FBDC, as well as Mantle, all of these three different verticals, they have more than 1 billion in TVL already, and we intend to like grow all of them concurrently because we feel that it is synergistic, and it also allows us a lot of flexibility in terms of like onboarding partners. And we see that all three components they are like very synergistic with us having a strong treasury. Our BD team can use it for our BD work. It is just a all around like ecosystem that we feel that is very conducive for builders to build in.
Okay, what is the biggest challenge in doing this?
I think the biggest challenge has been like the non-stop inflow of new ecosystems into the space, right? There is a never-ending supply of L1, L2s, and that every each one of them is offering like their own edge in the team. Why they are better, why they are going to do things different, why they are going to change the world. And because they are new, they're fresh, they have the hype, they have the marketing, they have the incentives. So you have to make sure that you are relevant despite all of this new stuff launching, and you make sure that you can outlast them, and you make sure that the attention at the end of the day still comes back to your own ecosystem.
How do you iterate your process or measure what's the best, what was working, was not?
It is a constant iteration of like, let's say like a 1 to 2 week review, right, of what went wrong, what could be doing wrong, and what are the different factors. So we actually have like a bi-weekly on-chain analysis of how we are doing and how all the other different chains are doing, and then we compare them. We go through their campaigns, we go through what the ecosystems are doing, who are the so-called hyped protocols that are building in each ecosystem, and anything we can learn from them. Are there similar protocols that are building the similar stuff, but then yet to find a ecosystem to find their home in? These are the stuff that we review on a bi-weekly basis, and then outside of that, we also like keep in touch with our partners. We talk to like VCs, we talk to the KOLs. We try to find out like what are the criticisms that we have for our ecosystem. Like if you think we are trash, you think we are shit, like tell us we are shit, and then what we can change. And then like if you feel that we suck at a certain aspect of our job, our BD, our marketing, let us know. Then we can at least try to change it. And if you think that we're doing something well, and then we can further improve of it, then we're happy to improve as well. So I think it's like a constant process whereby we keep trying to improve. You can never be perfect, but and then if you keep taking all this feedback, you maybe out of this that 10 feedback from 10 different sources, one of them will be a game changer, but that's all you need to actually be to have a key differentiator for yourself in the ecosystem. And then you need to have people that are native in a space. They are watching a space, they know what others are doing, and then you can actually share the ideas with each other and then see what each other thinks, what will work, what won't work, and then you go back to the data and see that whether what you perceive to be successful actually worked in terms of like actual numbers, and that's when you can start to form I guess a more firm picture of what you want to do. I think this was something that was more difficult for us to do at the start, probably the first 2 to 3 months. But I think now, since we've been doing for quite a while, it is a process that we're very familiar with, and it has proven to be like pretty effective for us.
Nice. As a user, what should we look forward to next for Mantle?
I think for
It's time to shill Mantle. Yeah.
I think for Mantle,
let's go, hit me.
Okay. Let me try to place all it in chronological order. I think for now, the Cook staking probably is or Cook they call it. I think the Feast campaign is this week. Metamorphosis Season 2 and the FPDC Sparks campaign has been ongoing for a while. It's still ongoing now. We actually started to have a heavier focus on like accelerators and working with other ecosystems and like getting builders on board in the past like 2 months, and we actually have like 3 different accelerator programs now. We started accelerator program in the LATAM region, Latin America, and then after that we actually are the official EVM partners for Ton. So you will get to see more synergies between Ton ecosystem and Mantle, as well as like the Telegram app. I think more information for that will be coming out in December. We have something called HackQuest Accelerator, that's like a global accelerator program that we are running as well. And then we currently also have something we call a DeFi Festival that we actually finished like the initial stages, whereby the community actually picks who they prefer to participate in this campaign, and then we will give them a incentive pool for them to actually run campaigns in the coming month.
If you're a developer,
quite a number of stuff.
No, like that's great. That's great.
Sorry.
You guys are also behind Sozu House, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Is that like a separate thing? Yeah, got it. So if I'm a developer and I'm confused because there are so many chains right now, I guess like what's your typical like elevator pitch for Mantle?
I guess for the developers side is it really depends on what is the product you're building and what's the audience you're targeting, and then from there, like what do you need for your ecosystem? Do you need like liquidity support? Do you need like investment? Do you just need an EVM chain that is interoperable with other EVM chains? It really depends on what is the needs of this protocol, and then from there I will see whether like Mantle is able to provide like the support that they need. So like especially in terms of like what we have in our that we build the internal assets that we have, the treasury support that we can provide them, any form of investment, and also like ecosystem support in terms of like highlighting them to the community and what they actually build out, whether it is something that we can integrate it into other ecosystem projects in the space. So yeah, I think it's a case by case basis, but we have a pretty large team, so like typically we can have correspondences with the teams like on a quite daily basis, and we are very active in terms of like responding to protocols. So yeah.
Before I switch to the next questions and topic, what do you think another ecosystem is doing better than you?
I think I mean, I've gotten this question. We ask ourselves this question internally like every week. Like literally every week, we have been looking at other ecosystems, like Base capturing the US market, and Base actually one of the few along with Solana to capture like memes, right? Like what make them be able to capture this that we couldn't. I think they actually did it pretty well. I think like for Base, even how they actually sort of form the narrative of them growing, to show the stats behind like the numbers of TVL growing to be one of the biggest L2s, stuff that is worth highlighting and learning from. I think if for projects like Arbitrum, how they have longevity in terms of like the core products for their perps markets like Hyperliquid, JMX. This is also something that we can learn from. Even for ecosystems that are move based like Sui, Aptos, how they came back from like I'll guess like being not very relevant in the space to having a vibrant ecosystem, like how they actually who they work with, how they actually onboard builders, how they actually bring in the TVL, and how they actually push and self-funnel marketing. All these are areas that we can learn from. Yeah.
Nice.
Got it. I think. Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm happy. Like I wish you leak a little bit more, but like I'm pretty happy with all the things I wanted to learn and hear about today so far.
Yeah, and dude, like before we sort of like wrap it up, is there any question that you want to ask us? Because yeah, that's one thing that we like to do more often in this pod.
Maybe for Marco, do you feel that there's any conflict with you like doing like VC work versus like running a podcast in terms, or do you think like both are like complementary, and like do you actually get that leads from you running a podcast?
No, I mean thanks for the question. This is very public, but I agree with what you said at the beginning of the pod. It's the synergy, right? So I think what's great in crypto is that oftentimes you can do your job while also doing the things that you want to pursue. So like in your case, it might be looking at the markets and you have to keep on top. And yeah, like I think for building an audience, I mean, you have done a much better job than most investors, frankly, but building an audience, I think as an investor is something that, you know, it's just like, it's mutually beneficial. So like I don't see any conflict whatsoever. And yes, I think we are still starting in this journey. It's only been 2 months, but I've already heard and I've already gotten some people saying that, oh, like I've watched it, or at least I've watched some of the clips. So yeah, if there's like any clips of you that you want us to push, please let us know.
I'll let you guys. This is fun.
Okay, for the last question, what is required to make it in crypto?
I think hard work, being able to put in the time. As long as you're able to put in the time, willing to learn from your own mistakes. You're not afraid to admit like why you are wrong and learn from each mistake that you make. I think crypto is a pretty forgiving environment that you can actually succeed as long as you put in the work.
100%.
Awesome. All right. I think that's it for today, folks. So again, thanks for tuning in. You can check the show notes for everything about DeFi Maestro, about Edmunds, about Mantle, and until next time. Cheers.
Okay. Yep. Cheers. Thanks, guys.